It's gonna be something you hear me talk about a lot in this one, but it's such a great choice to have this opening shot be a oneer. Adds to the trapped and claustrophobic feeling of juvie, but also ramps up the intensity of the fight like we're watching it from the point of view of someone inside. And we already know which kid is going to think Rocky's the bee's knees. Hint, it's the one that can get punched in the face 4 times and just get mad enough to end the fight and want to keep going.
At least let me get my shoes.
You're a social worker.
No, I am not a social worker.
Great delivery here that I think could be interpreted as Marianne feeling disgust for being confused for a social worker, but I think the reality is that it's a rough situation. She's made a choice to take her late husband's son from an affair, and she's like, oh boy, I don't even know where to start.
Said something about my mom, so I beat his ass.
I mean, those are the rules. Donnie's fist is clenched the entire time because he's always ready to fight, and hearing that it isn't a time he'll need to must be like taking a breath for the first time.
What was his name?
Hell yeah, you put some reverence on that name and title card. Apollo deserves every bit of it. Okay, so this might not be an actual in-camera long take, but it still looks like a oneer, and again, it's gorgeous and adds so much to the tension and build-up to reintroduce our guy as an adult. Wonder if Coogler will use that again later on. Love the detail of Adonis already taking his tape off. The count's not over, his opponent is attempting to get up, but he knows how he hit him. He knows how hard it was, he knows it's done. And look, I'm gonna get this out of the way right now. I love this movie. I grew up on Rocky 1 through 5. Yes, even 5, I can still feel the adrenaline pumping as a kid in the last 30 minutes of every one of those movies. They're cool. Rocky is cool, Apollo is cool, Adonis is cool, hell, Drago is hella cool. Also, boxing can be a pretty terrible and dangerous sport, and maybe it shouldn't exist. I mean, this movie does not forget what happened to Apollo, so credit there. I just feel the need to get that out before I go back to loving the blood spray from someone's mouth as their brain hits the inside of their skull, causing permanent damage. Okay? Does talking really high like this make you not so mad? I have a hard time focusing on real life after I score a goal in my over 30 soccer league. I can't imagine what he's going through.
This career just ain't for me.
What are you gonna do?
Hey man, thanks for everything.
Love his quick resolve there. Nothing worse than grumpy bosses who try to tell you you're nothing without them. I also love this aspect of the story. He had a rough early childhood, but since then he's lived in obscene wealth and has earned tons of opportunities that he clearly deserves, but it's a very different start than Rocky's. I love that Ryan is already setting us up to understand what this movie is truly about beyond punchy punchy volley volley. Donnie superimposes himself over Rocky, thereby fighting his dad.
Your daddy died in the ring. This ain't no joke.
I don't know him. Ain't got nothing to do with me.
And that explains it. I wasn't expecting this type of device, but it works. Gives us all the background we need to understand where Donnie fits in. Also ranked 6th light heavyweight in the world? That's no joke, and it just gets crazier from here.
Kill her, right?
I'll always appreciate a small moment of success before what's about to come.
I'm next.
But 31-0-0? Nope. That's a nope for me. But just because we know where Donnie fits in doesn't mean he does yet. Michael B. Jordan nailing that, oh crap, I screwed up, but still need to act tough? Look. The bet was for 1 clean headshot, but since Donnie was running his mouth, Stuntman decided to teach him a lesson, and I think that means Donnie owes him 1, 2, 3, 4 Mustangs.
You gotta learn things the hard way, huh?
I mean, he seeks out Rocky to train him after this, so you tell me.
It's not that bad.
It's not that bad. I ought to knock you out myself.
I believe she could do it. She has a real mom that doesn't play games energy.
How many times did he wipe his ass because he couldn't use his hands?
Things you never consider that make 100% total sense and at least dabble in the idea that maybe this isn't the best sport. Sorry, I promise I won't be a wet blanket this entire video, genuinely. That's it. It's interesting to integrate the real Rocky statue in the film. And it totally makes sense. If Rocky was real, there would absolutely be a statue for him. That town doesn't mess around when it comes to sports.
No birds. I heard about a third fight between you and Apollo, behind closed doors.
This is fun because all we ever got was the freeze frame, and the suggestion was that they knocked each other out again, but the fact that they actually followed the fight all the way through? Brutal.
Who won the third fight?
He did. Apollo, yeah, he's great. He's a perfect fighter. Ain't nobody ever better.
Compliments. Coming from the guy who beat him, real compliments.
Time, takes everybody out. It's undefeated.
What a line, Rock.
You haven't talked to her since the funeral. She said you gave a nice speech, though.
One of my favorite parts of this movie is obviously Donnie and Rocky's relationship, but it's not all butt kissing. Donnie knows he has to go at Rocky to earn his respect.
That fight should have been stopped. I should have stopped it.
That's true. Then again, if he had stopped it, he never would have gone on to defeat Big C communism and teach the Russians about freedom and liberty. Yeah, Rocky IV was the bomb.
Maybe he wanted to go out like a fighter.
I think he'd rather be here.
Age and wisdom don't always coincide, but this is a great moment that shows the difference between these two characters. Adonis is all bluster, confidence, maybe real, maybe not, and anger. Rocky is old enough and experienced enough to know that none of that stuff really matters, especially when you're dead. Pretty Ricky is played by actual professional boxer Tony Bello, who, like his fictional counterpart here, is actually a lifelong Everton fan. I wonder if he thinks Dice can save them.
I'm Donnie.
Yeah, I'd imagine Tessa Thompson has that effect on people in real life. He was ready to throw down and in an instant decided instead to introduce himself. Boxers do be quick like that. So you'll notice that every fighter given stats in this movie is undefeated, and at first I wondered if that was just a thing to escalate the danger in this movie, or if boxing managers are only booking fights they know their fighters can win. Well, TJ Loves Fights did the math, and 33% of all boxers are undefeated, but add in fighters with one loss, meaning they fought another undefeated fighter and lost, the percentage goes up to 56%. What this tells me is that there are like 18 guys out there just getting pounded into the ground every week.
Just to make you follow. I like it when you grab.
Fun fact, that's actually Tessa Thompson singing, because being a beautiful, super talented, and skilled actor is never enough.
Oh,
You call me Young?
yeah, it was either that or OG.
I probably would have gone with OG, but Unc really does grow on me. Dang it, I love these two.
Okay, here you go. Good luck with that.
Aw, and they're becoming buddies.
It's already up in the cloud.
What cloud? What cloud?
LOL'd at that. It's fun to see the big lunk back and not taking himself any more seriously.
Hey, Ma, it's me. I was just calling, let you know, doing good. And
Can't escape these parenting movies this year. There's nothing my kids could do with their life that would make me ignore their calls, but I get it. Sometimes parents will do anything to try to snap them out of it.
what's a John?
It's a noun. It's like a see, these is Johns, this is a John.
So it's like Squanch, it can be whatever until you use it wrong. Like, can we HBO Max and John?
When's your next show?
We're back on Friday.
Can I roll with you? Don't want to show up, you know? Show some love.
They have great chemistry and a solid flirting vibe. It's also super relatable that they are both so absurdly attractive. Honestly, it's a curse, but somehow we get by.
Miss you, pal. Yo, Adrian, my darling.
Of course, Rocky is still a tragic character. It hurts my soul that he's alone again, but I can't lie, it sets up where we're headed with Donnie very well. We've got the OG Rocky music playing as he walks his streets, still holding onto his bouncy ball. Yeah, I could see why he'd change his mind about Donnie.
How you know Hollywood?
We met at the restaurant.
That's it.
Love how awkward and weird this is. Donnie and Rocky are still sort of getting used to each other, and everyone besides Donnie treats Rocky like royalty. Is it really a Rocky movie if there isn't a training montage? No, it isn't. Because we all know that a training to get the eye of the tiger montage is the fastest way to learn what the bell means.
That bell don't mean school's out, Donnie. That bell means hell.
But little pieces like this help us understand how their relationship is building and how they're starting to feel comfortable around each other. Characters are framed perfectly. Rocky is relaxed, and Stallone's delivery is serious but not angry or judgmental, and Donnie is there for whatever Rock throws at him.
You see this guy here staring back at you? That's your toughest opponent. I believe that in boxing, and I do believe that in life.
I don't know if it's just because it's a boxing movie or if these two are just amazing. They are. But what should be corny works so dang well. Rocky believes it, so Donnie believes it.
I settled for a cheesecake. Cheesecake, the cake that you make, the cake that you got.
You gotta love how bad he is at this, but with the confidence of Snoop.
Well, thanks. I appreciate it, Chef. We'll be okay. Thanks.
Think about it.
I'll think about it.
Rocky so politely and jokingly declining like this, that's a skill.
So I can move it to your spot.
Now, no one's been in my house in a long time. I don't think you'd be comfortable there.
Don't you walking around naked?
No.
He's saying no, but that defensiveness is saying something else. Rocky's definitely walking around his house naked. I mean, no shame. I'm sure he just misses the days of shorty shorts.
Hey, it's time to train. This is how you start. Get your engine going.
Ugh, mourning people. It's a genetic advantage and I hate you all. Although I feel like Donnie's having second thoughts and this would really be the thing that clinched it for me. Apollo taught him everything he knows.
Cody said it was close.
Not that close.
Ah, classic father figure move. Another great oneer with a decent amount of dialogue. It really lends to making everything feel lived in.
There's some things I can't do. Can never hold a pass like that. But I'm looking at you. I'm working with you.
Donnie has been totally cool with Rocky's way of messing with him, but clearly has issues with other people giving him tips. He needs to hear from Rocky himself to shut up and listen to the trainers. And on top of that, it sort of wipes away any questions of whether Rocky is going to fight again for the audience. He's a coach now, and that's it.
You're hitting real shots, though. What you mean? Just hitting real shots.
You good.
If you never played sports, this might seem weird, ready to kill each other one second and best buddies the next, but it's true, it does happen. I mean, some people hold grudges, but other times you could be ready to break their bones and then, we're good. Humans really are fascinatingly silly.
You can't learn anything you're talking. That's a fact of life. You know what I mean? As long as you're talking, you're not listening.
Dang, that's like a silly dadism that is really just so true.
What is it?
And I'm never not gonna get hyped by the orchestra leaning on those horns while Donnie gets better and better. I have no idea if actual boxers will find this impressive, but to a normie like me who knows that in the end these are just two actors, this is immensely impressive.
I'm about to go over the ABC rules and the rules governed by the state. What we mean by no 3 knockdown rule is basically whatever the referee sees fit.
Oh, cut my gloves off.
What's wrong?
I'm freaking out, okay? I'm freaking out right now. I gotta take a shit.
Coogler once again kills it with the long shot, the sound fading out, the crowd fading up, and then the immediate cut to Donnie needing the gloves off. And hey, this is incredibly relatable. Getting whooped in your first big fight is one thing. Getting whooped in your first big fight and pooping your pants? Nobody recovers from that. Just ask Steven Seagal. I told you to get sick of me talking about oneers, but dang it, the entire fight is a oneer, 4.5 minutes. And yeah, there are probably some sneaky edits in there, but it's just so well done. You feel it. Not just in the intensity, but in the slow moments when the bell rings. Rocky has minimal time to talk to his fighter, so he says minimal stuff. You also feel how small the ring is when you're right there with them. I also love that the wind feels a little iffy. The ref calls it, but even Donnie is a little unsure if it's over because Leo is standing by the end of the count. And Bianca being so excited and not knowing how to react, so she shoves him, but he's super pooped, so he almost falls over. It's great. It all feels so real. The intensity on Donnie's face. And again, it's all in a oneer, so I don't know. Couple 2-3 wins, that seems fair.
Yeah, go get some! We got one, right?
I love how much he craves Rocky's approval and honors him for the success, the exact opposite thing Tommy Gunn did, and Rocky gives the credit right back to him.
Yeah, we got one! It's 'cause of you!
Tubs of ice cream is the correct way to celebrate. Skyfall? Dame Judi Dench is always a win. Oldest trick in the book, pretend you're asleep and wait till the parents go to bed, and then it's a one-way ticket to Johntown.
Anything else? Ask me.
How many females have you been with before me?
Anything else?
Haha, she almost got him. Wasn't expecting that one. I like how she kind of smiles when she says it, like she knows that's not what he meant. His answer is the correct one, though.
I think the family must have felt this embarrassment because they kept it under wraps for so long.
Yeah, or maybe it has nothing to do with anyone, but he had to know it wasn't gonna last. Not in 2015, when being even the most minor of celebrity means your entire history and personal life are fair game. I mean, I don't watch American football, and I know way too much about Tebow.
Oh, man.
And Rocky already knows where this is headed.
This man came here because he knows you're a sure thing, right? It's a sure victory.
That is not true.
Yeah, it is.
One thing you can always say about Rocky is that he's honest with his friends and himself when it comes to competition, even in front of the opponent. He knew fighting Mason Dixon was a ridiculous ask, even if he went the distance.
We would need you to change your name to Creed.
Can't do it. It's not my name. So I want to make it on my own merit anyway. Yeah.
You got a funny way of showing it.
What's that supposed to mean?
I mean, weren't Apollo and Rocky like best friends?
The name change would be hard, but Bianca makes a very good point here. He's picking and choosing what parts of his father he wants to benefit from, and there's nothing wrong with it. But saying you're doing it on your own while getting trained by the legend is a little off, and I love that she calls him on it, and is the one to make him see it from another point of view.
So then use the name. It's yours.
It ain't easy for me to be in your corner, kid. I don't know if you're ready for it. I don't know if I'm ready for it. But I'll do what you want to do.
Also, Rocky's approach to this stuff feels like a combination of his optimistic spirit with Mickey's brutal honesty. Can't count how many times Mick called him a bum and said he couldn't win. It always spurred Rocky on, and now he's keeping it straight with Donnie, hoping it has that same effect.
I got you.
I just love these two. I love that Donnie's cocky phase was barely anything, and it was basically over before he even started with Rocky, and now he's just looking to someone he trusts to carry him through.
Fighting Ricky Conlon. I'm fighting pretty Ricky Conlon!
You can see his excitement, his fear, even maybe a moment of regret or questioning himself, and then back to excitement. Nope, Rocky's been through enough. Thank you, leave this man alone.
I'm sorry.
No. What?
No, I'm real.
What was I just saying about these boys? Rocky apologizing for being sick and Donnie giving the correct response of, what? No, there's nothing to apologize for. It's also real.
Bianca, you're beautiful, and I think you'll be a great singer, and I think you're going to be a great champ.
Compliments all around from the sweetest old goofball.
My wife tried that.
Ooh, that's heartbreaking delivery.
No, my wife tried that, and I don't think I want to do it. Didn't turn out so good.
I'm gonna put this here because I'm okay with where the story takes this, but it's everyone's right to decide how they want to deal with bad news like this, especially cancer. The idea that we have to fight isn't a perfect analogy because sometimes you fight and since you still lose, you'll lose the time you had left in the process. My point is that I 100% completely understand Rocky's decision here.
Be first, Donnie, come on.
Stallone is nailing the scene, the big happy energy he's bringing to deflect anyone noticing what he's going through. It's a classic tactic and rough to watch, but it's so well done.
I am to you just an old trainer. We're not a real family.
Oof, that's a rough line. You can tell he immediately regrets it. The old white fang shoot the dog tactic.
Why'd you say that?
Matt and Kim.
I talk to your little pretty boy boyfriend.
I'm sorry, but who do you think you're talking to? People who don't box shouldn't talk trash to any boxer. And I mean, if you're a 27-year-old, 225-pound weightlifter, if a lightweight buck 35, 16-year-old decides to knock you out, they will. Also props to Tone Trump for having a cameo just to be the heel and then get punched.
You ain't talking like you my family. You got my real family killed.
Oof, that's a line you can never take back.
I ain't even
This story works so well because Rocky and Donnie have so much in common. Stallone's delivery is so on point, and good lord, the timing of Michael B. Jordan's tear. It goes from, this is a well done scene, to, I'm a mess in a second.
Forgive him, because there's nothing you can do about it. It's taking a toll on you. You're still caught in the shadow. Gotta move, Donnie.
And Rocky may not be the most eloquent guy, but he speaks the truth and he knows more about life than anyone you'd pay to tell you how to live.
How'd you do, though? You kill it?
Yeah, we did good.
He really does care about her and genuinely wants to know how the show went.
I heard you Apollo Creed, son.
Yeah.
What's up?
This moment. It shows how someone else letting you know that you're awesome can help you have perspective. That little smile at the end says it all.
I ain't training if you don't get the treatment. So if I fight, you fight.
I said my piece, but still Donnie hit Rocky where Rocky wasn't expecting it. The feels.
Remember this? Get up.
Haha, the bell toll. I could feel what's coming. No, one montage just isn't enough for the King's return. There's part of me that's like, no way the hospital administration would allow this, but then also it's Rocky and his protege, so they're actually gonna cheer him on. This score is incredible. Ludwig really doesn't miss, taking the old motifs and working them into something new and vibrant. It's possible that Michael put on some muscle for these final scenes in the movie, but the shoot was most likely only a few months and there isn't a lot of time to train, so I have to assume Michael started filming this ripped. And the point of all this is that it's the lighting and sweat that make him look like a monster, so it seems like he's actually making gains in this montage. Chemotherapy affects everyone differently, but the way they've portrayed it throughout this montage is very effective. Sometimes Rocky is up and moving, sometimes he's barfing, sometimes he's lying down. Some days he looks okay, other days he looks like he's aged 30 years. And you know what they say. A training montage to a second Meek Mill song is the fastest way to totally ape Rocky's OG gray sweatsuit style and move faster than I think Rocky ever did. There are a lot of great shots in this film, but this is one of those where I feel Ryan Coogler had to be saying to himself, this is gonna look so cool, and he'd be right, this looks very cool. Just doesn't get better. No dialogue heard, just fighting stronger, Lord knows, pieces of different Rocky motifs giving us all the adrenaline.
I've been fighting for some time now.
That's exactly how it happened for this guy. He's an overnight success, never had a damn fight in his life.
Again, I know it's part of the spectacle, but the whole talking tough thing feels so transparently fake to either get coverage or get in the head of the other guy. Plus, you're never gonna do it as well as Macho Man Randy Savage, so why bother?
I'm here now, though. I'm here now.
But if you gotta trash talk, might as well own him. Michael B. Jordan is always a win.
Keep looking at the door.
No.
Just top-notch acting, Rock.
Oh, listen, you guys just keep...
We know.
Leg thing.
Yeah,
The legs, yeah.
it's important.
Gotcha.
I don't actually know what they're talking about, but I think it's John and so in that case, nice. The shorts. Apollo wore them in his first fight with Rocky, then Apollo gave them to Rocky to tell Clubber Lane he ain't so bad, and then Apollo died in them against Drago for Rocky to finally avenge his buddy in them one more time. And now they represent both sides of Adonis.
And you're doing it for yourself. Not for me, not your father's memory, but for you.
Can Stallone just follow me around and give me pep talks? Everything he says in this film is short and sweet and killer. I mean, is this a 3.5-minute oneer complete with a motivational speech, Donnie warming up with the pads, and a tension-building entrance with Rocky's hand on Donnie the whole time letting him know he's there for him? Is that what this is? Michael B. Jordan's workout routine. It's weird that I haven't said that yet, but holy crap, Michael B. Jordan's workout routine. That might be the most terrifying thing a boxer could do to me. I think I'd just run after that jab and smile. It's terrifying how fast Pretty Ricky runs in here. He's so ready to go nuts. Again, no thanks. Boxing really wouldn't be my sport. The light and sound effects for this slowdown.
It's you against you. He's just in your way.
Dang, I don't know if that's the stupidest platitude I've ever heard or the smartest life lesson I've ever heard.
Get him out of the way.
No, it's the latter. Okay, look, I said I was done, and maybe this is just dramatic Hollywood effect, but the idea that a fight can continue after a fighter is clearly unconscious for any amount of time seems absolutely insane. Sorry, what was I saying? That breath, the distortion on it, a vision of his dad to wake him up.
And again. 2.
This is another one of those moments that makes me feel sick inside. As viewers, I don't think we're necessarily supposed to like it or approve of it. It's likely just a reality of the sport. Again, fun for the movie, but I'd hate to think any trainer would actually do this.
I gotta prove it.
Prove what?
I'm not a mistake.
Wow, the feels, in the middle of the fight, just a liver shot to the feels. I have no clue what it has to do with boxing, but you do what you gotta do, Donnie. I'm with you.
You're a Creed, and I love you, kid.
Love.
Go get him, Donnie.
Nope, screw you, movie. You don't do this. I'm already on board. You can't also play the classic Rocky theme. It's too much for me. That's a real mom right there. Michael B. Jordan's workout routine. Rocky finally got to call someone a bum.
Survives the 12th round. What a finish.
And Rocky's fight-ending music playing for Donnie?
You the future of this division.
I could barely slap hands with the team I played last night because I got a little too angry, so something tells me I don't have what these boys have.
I know he ain't leaving me on purpose. I'm proud to be a Creed.
3 movies in a row with complicated child-parent relationships, and I cried at all of them. Cool. Very cool. Fun few months here. I'm fine. This is fine. Let's do Good Will Hunting next, but just that one scene where Sean tells Will it's not his fault. And then The Pursuit of Happiness when Chris has his foot pinning the bathroom door closed, and then we'll watch Cooper cry over the videos of his aging kids in Interstellar. It'll be great. I'm emotionally stable. You? How you doing? You doing all right? Okay, good. Go hug your parents and kids and anyone you love. Aw, Creed went for them with arms wide open. Sorry, with the arms wide open. Hugging. See, it's not so serious. We're okay.
One step at a time.
You thought I'd leave out the win for Rocky's catchphrase from this movie, didn't you? Nope. Donnie calls back to it, letting Rocky know he hurt him.
One step at a time, one punch at a time, one round at a time. One step, one punch, one round at a time. One step, one punch, one round at a time. There you go.
So the weirdest thing about the Rocky movies, and now the Creed, well, movie for now, is that as much as they are about macho men eating lightning and crapping thunder, bloodying each other's faces and breaking each other's ribs, they're all also each melancholic studies of human nature, loneliness, love, hate, success, failure, aging, self-worth, and intrinsic value. Like, just so much. Each movie is just a pretty buff and tough dude getting buffer and tougher so they can win? Not even necessarily. It doesn't actually matter if they win. Rocky doesn't win in the first movie, at least not traditionally. Creed is the same. Both he and Rocky go the distance against opponents neither should have been able to, making these movies such beautiful paradoxes that seem to appeal to everyone. Creed gets the victory music knowing the chances of unbelting the champ by decision is basically an impossibility. Still, it's because the victory was, as he and Rocky both articulate throughout the movie, over himself. He beat himself. He beat his fear of mattering. He even beats the shadow of his father. For now. And look, I picked on boxing a little, but I don't mean to take anything away from people using it as their only way to make new lives for themselves. And just know that I have similar feelings about all sports that cause concussions. The one where they stand across from each other and slap faces is just the stupidest things humans have commodified in a while, so it's not just boxing. And at least in boxing, you get to protect yourself. What bothers me a little is that there's really no good reason for Rocky to risk Donnie's life. The thing is, his life was never truly in danger. He'd have an argument for his eye being shut in the final round. I mean, losing an eye wouldn't be great, but here's the thing, even in Apollo's case, it wasn't Rocky's fault. The referee should have called the fight way before Apollo was taking punches with his gloves at his side. Drago would probably go to jail. At one point, the ref tries to pull him off. Plus, it was an exhibition. The point of all of this is that if Donnie got in that kind of trouble, the ref should be calling it before Rocky has to consider throwing in the towel. And Donnie never even gets close. But either way, Donnie proved to himself what he needed, just like Rocky had done before. The way Creed fits into the Rocky series is one of the most impressive things. In many ways, this further continued Rocky's story, the next chapter of his career and life. And the fact that it doesn't step on the toes of his previous ending says a lot. Rocky Balboa is a great send-off to Rocky's fighting career, and Creed is the first step into a whole new chapter of his life. A life where he was ready to throw in the towel because without Adrian, without Paulie, he didn't have much beyond his stories and memories. I fight, you fight is a two-way street, and Donnie taught Rocky as much as he learned from him. I'm not like a sly head or anything, I assume that's what you call yourselves, but I've seen enough of his movies to say that this is one of his best performances of all time. He brought that simple, good-hearted Rocky from 1976 forward into a different future and showed that none of it was a fluke. His strength of will, his fighting knowledge, and how he reads his opponents in and out of the ring. And the man loves hard. That's why he white-fanged Donnie. He loved him so much he didn't want him to see Rocky go through what Rocky suffered with Adrian. I try not to love fictional characters, but Rocky makes it hard. He always gives it his all, and Stallone makes that come through on screen. And even with all that praise showered on him, he never stole the spotlight from Jordan. Michael B. Jordan. Man, he and Ryan Coogler have really created a legacy just between their 3 films together. Fruitvale Station is its own masterpiece, and you know how I feel about Killmonger and Black Panther. The way this man transforms himself for roles, both physically and emotionally. The chemistry he creates with both Sly and Tessa is palpable. He made me feel every punch, every heartache, every rage out, every victory. We're watching one of the greatest actors of this generation just kill it over and over right now, and I can't wait to see what he does next. Creed 3 is coming out and it looks like he's reinvented himself again. And if you've seen Creed 2, you know he did it for that one. And obviously that one's gonna be next week.
Conlon is down. That is the the first time in his career he's been on the canvas.